the idea of registration is right in keeping with what we're talking
Yes.
about, with that we understand a timbre that's possible in a certain part of your voice, or on a certain vowel in a certain part of your voice, and we also understand the goal of being able to mix and adapt and travel from part to part of your voice. And that's what we understand under the word registration. And all the figures that you described to me for your beginning, just kind of getting your voice going, the woo and sirens and things like that, all invite you to find the timbre and the coordination that allows you to registrate, to move from register to register fluidly. It's a terrific goal. Let's have, this is, I think, a little bit similar to those. I call it an E elevator. Can you say the German word for yes? Ja.
Ja.
It was a quiz.
I was going to say da, and I was like, that's Russian.
That's Russian. So, ja.
Ja.
A Y sound and an A sound. Ja. So we're going to go. You're taking the little E elevator up a third, up a fifth, and up an octave, and then we're just going to, the sun has risen, and we're going to stay on an A all the way down. Let's try E elevators. E. Good for you. That was a really good first. You like
okay, I'm notorious for forgetting the words to warm up, so
Are you going to remember this word?
Ja. Ja.
Good for you. So the reason that we want to think of this as a word really is because it connects the E to the ah sound. And that's really the point in time of this exercise that we want to kind of put into our frame viewfinder there. E, ya, ya, ya. So exactly that little turning point, ya, is what we want to make sure we're including.
I was like, I had to just understand what was happening.
Yeah, I was thinking of that as like coming out through the clouds. But it's a little bit like what Ayana was just talking about too, like busy preparations, busy, busy, busy. That sense of messing with your sense of time again. Ya, ya, ya. So we're practicing that transition too into that ah. Now here's a crazy thing, and this is definitely a rap that classical singers have to bear, is that they're not fun to watch on stage. They're kind of the famous phrase park and bark, right? They're kind of static. But there's that's a little bit of an unfair critique because a classical singer is making some choices. There's a lot going on, and there's some stuff that's not going on. A lot of the time when we see choices that kind of put you into anything other than visual aids, anything other than a kind of default all lined up arrangement is actually a form of breath management. And you're giving me, as we start out, a kind of wingspan bird head to one side. Yeah. Instead, let's see if we can choose to not use the washcloth wringing out. Just keep yourself lined up, just like this Yule is lined up here, and see if you can find breath management. It'll happen all on its own from someplace else. Same key. Nice job. So now you're not as much fun to watch, but you're kind of giving the insides of you a more focused workout. It's like arm day. We're really, really recognizing what's going on the inside there. So key of D flat. That means that this acoustically is a little different than this Can we try, there's the first stop on the third floor. As we go to the fifth floor, can you try for something that's a little bit more like yum, yum, yum. Great. So then as we come down, there's the fifth floor.
You want me to stay on the for the...
Yeah, it's
as
actually...
a modification.
Yeah, it's actually going to kind of even modify a little further in its timbre. So the concept of modification is an important one to unpack as well.
Those are my... I'm a king of modifying.
King of modifying.
Because for belting I have to modify a lot.
So it's also very interesting and very much a part of what's appropriate for pop and music theater style. Kind of what we're working on with finding your use of resonance is less vowel modification and more allowing a timbre to evolve as you move through various registers of that vowel, which is a very kind of what idea. But rather than, especially for the king of vowel modification, it's going to be a challenge. But rather than choosing a different vowel that maybe keeps the same timbre, allow the vowel to have a different affinity. So although that trip is a super fast, zingy move, it is indeed a place where we're practicing registration right now. The trick that you take here changes color a little bit, changes color a little bit more, changes color more. So we need to allow that change to happen as opposed to modifying the vowel. We're allowing the timbre to evolve. Same thing. For me, it's helpful to think of the elevator. When I get there and the doors open, I keep on going. That's it. Good, good, good job. Let's do the same thing again. Really nicely done. So we want to see if we can allow that E to have a little more airflow in it. Can you say yield, like Y-I-E-L-D?
Yield.
Yeah. Slow-mo.
Yield.
Let's see if we can use more of the Y sensation, as if you're about to say yield, but we'll stay in the Y. Cool. So I talk about axes, the axis of something, right? And that we really have 3 of them available to us in our how we use our resonator. One of them is the Y-axis. We're using that a lot right now. Has to do with where the tongue is in your mouth. Say ya, ya, ya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of them is a W-axis. Wah, wah, wah. Lips. Wah, wah, wah. And one of them is an R-axis. Ra, ra, ra. So that has to do with the opening at this jaw hinge here. Those are really the 3 axes that we have to work with to like move from shape to shape with our resonator. So we're using both a forward Y, yeah, Am I using a backwards Y? As the elevator doors open. Oh, really using that. Same key again. Good for you. So we're in Y most of the time. Here's the challenge that I have for you now. Instead of, we've been using that to kind of slam on the brakes for that note, let's see if we can choose something different and find, by dialing in slow motion, find the very first thing that counts as an and using that. Let's try speaking it. It's a slow move, owning more of the sounds in between Y and Really nice. So as far as mix goes, using those axes, like stepping a little closer to the is a really good hint for where will I find mix. Let's change the exercise from ya to whoa, whoa, whoa. Not so fast. What sounds are we going through for this?
Whoa.
Whoa. Between an oo and an o.
That's a little bit.
And we've got which axis going on? Is it a Y axis?
Your W.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So we're going to travel in the oo elevator, or the W elevator, and we're going to peak at the O's as we go. Same key. W longer.
Okay, yes.
Especially up the octave.
Now we're W's.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that it's hard to stick with the W up here is because it really must evolve. You can't make this W up here. But I want you to make some W up here. Now the other thing we can think of is that those O's are all going to head back into the W. So as opposed to wah, whoa, keep it adjacent, ready to hop back into a W. Yeah. So you gave me a little bit of wah, whoa. See if you can love that beautiful O that you were giving me. Whoa. And go in that. It's going to feel, so I think it's really all about leverage of breath management for these various styles. That various things manage our breath. You are, and is appropriate for your particular genre, are using a lot of vocal fold management of your breath. And we're working on right now, can we use a little bit more resonance? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It feels almost like having a force field in your mouth. And you, instead of feeling obliged to move past that, you're going to own it and use it. Good for you on the water break. Let's see if we can have whoa, whoa, whoa. I like it a lot. That was a good O on the way down there. Yeah? What do you think? What were your impressions?
Well, for breath, what I noticed is the breath management, it's harder for me to sustain it. But I guess I just need more air, and I'm not getting enough air.
Yeah, well, taking a good breath is important.
The solid O sound uses up more air than the or
I think it may also be a matter of, are you used to using the leverage that manages an O or not? And just like doing a new move anywhere, at the gym or in your dance routine or whatever, it's that, at first it's gonna be like, huh? And it's not super coordinated yet, right? But we're making choices.
Like a baby giraffe.
Baby giraffe. Come on, baby giraffe, let's sing whoa, whoa, whoa again. Could you hear the vowel?
No.
Yeah.
I was distracted by the changing light.
Changing light. There was no changing light. It was just the color of your vowel in the room. So the difference between which is what we're getting a little bit wah, and o.
Whoa.
This is my vowel dial here. And what it is showing you is the relative position of the height of your tongue for these various vowels. This would be the Yule's nose on this side in profile. So we have high positions for E, and we have kind of median positions for right up the middle of you. And we have backer heights for vowels like O. And that position for the O, close to the R axis, is a weird one. O. So we went to go slowly, coming out of the W, ooh, and see if you can find.
I'm also gonna make an O.
Yeah, make an O. Absolutely, make an O. Use of resonance and airflow is also going to give you choices to allow a little vibrato in if you want. If what we're looking for is guaranteed straight tone, when you're a jet all the way, right out there like that, then the things that we're working on right now are kind of not helpful in that direction. But I think in general, what you want to do is gain comfort level and fluency in all the choices that you have.
I think, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I think it's easier for me to go straight tone when it's like a longer belting note. So like having the like the top of my range is like an A on a wonderful day, a B flat, on a spectacular day, an actual B. But like I can hit an A, but having that vibrato on it, that's like the option that I'm working towards. Because the straight tone is like, oh, you're hitting it, I can sustain it, keep it on pitch, but sometimes I want to add a little color to trail it off.
So where is that then?
An abrupt end to the note when it's over.
So that kind of, I have choices, I have options, is a really good, what do I want to say, like a litmus test.
Yeah.
On am I making choices in the first place? If I am making choices in the first place, then that's where I can get to. Let's go on up another key with this. So can you go for me ooh and ooh,
ooh
and whoa. Yeah. So what you're really making use of when you're aware of this end of your instrument, your vocal tract goes from your larynx. Do you know where your larynx is? Yep. Feels like a pecan right there, right?
Once in a lifetime I knew where my larynx is.
Now you know where it is.
I have a book with a picture in it.
You make it sound like it's posted, it's a wanted poster in the post office. I've seen a picture.
It's in my library in my home.
So, but we can find it. It feels like a pecan. It's at kind of the top of your, not kind of, it's literally at the top of your trachea. And then we've got, for you, probably about 14 centimeters of resonator instrument. So yes, and maybe like a millimeter past it or so, is the length that we have to shape the resonance of your sound. So what we're experimenting with here is using a little more length and a little more awareness of this side wall. So when you take your fingernails and kind of put them back here like fish gills, and letting a stroke forward and point out. Yeah? So this part of your structure there is an important part as far as adding breath management via the resonance of your resonator here. So right now you're shortening your resonator in order to make sure you don't use resonance, but rather use vocal fold adduction as your primary management. Oh, we like options. So
Yes.
experimenting with this, using whoa, 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 whoa with that little lip movement is a good way to trick you into it, because you can't make a W without adding a little length. Let's have, thinking about, put your fingers on the little flaps of your ears and draw a dotted line tick, 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 down to the corners of your lips. That we want those dotted lines to be long. Oh. Oh, good. Good. We can move a little faster.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So that one kind of, I rang my bell. That one kind of, the O came out of me. Same thing as the ya. Let's keep the O a little closer to the W. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. So rather than, see if this makes sense to you, rather than,
Like a glottal stop to like cause it to...
it's using more of the vocal fold adduction for management. And what we're experimenting with is using more resonance as breath management. So you've got it on W, and then we want to choose an O that continues to recruit that.
Okay.
They're going to have more in common. Terrific. Really nice job. I'm also hearing a color that dramatically, as far as if I were sitting there casting you, it gives me more choice. It gives me more choices in how I might use you. Can you feel how that whoa was closer to the ooh?
Yeah, I don't think I did what you wanted still, but
Wait,
I think
wait.
I was closer.
You're absolutely closer.
That's why I'm holding my face like this.
You can do this without hold. You know the thing about holding. This is a tricky thing with like using props while you're working on your voice, is that using this invites your face to struggle against it. So I feel where it is. When really, I want it to get on board and choose that shape of its own volition. So just see if you can try it out. No judgment, right? Here we go. I hope you'll play this for Connor. He's gonna be like, that was beautiful. So it's tricky for different registrations to be brave and see what happens. Trust in the W. Ooh. That's kind of why we want to make sure we get there in the W, that it feels stable. And then I match that as I'm going. I really liked that sound. Let's try one more key. Maybe two different, more in common between
Oh,
W and
okay.
O. Really good. So that's an E flat on the top, which is a tricky note. It requires us to make some different shape choices in our resonator. You did a really good job. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
When I say
no, well,
stay.
the first time we did it, I completely forgot that we were blending the O and the
That's
W.
right.
And
So more adjacent, more in common, as opposed to more disparate, less in common. And there are times and places to choose the greatest contrast possible, but if you're working on mixing and, you know, using more nuance in how you leverage your breath management, then we're gonna aim for homogeneity, which is again one of those things that people don't like in classical singers. It's like I don't really hear the personality and the various emotions and the kind of quirkiness in what they're doing. They're just making the same sound everywhere. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I don't know if I can tell you about it after lesson or whatever, but in Constellation, I just got cast in a show.
Congratulations.
For Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus as the pigeon.
That sounds
And
fun.
there's so many he has so many temperamental issues, so there's a lot of playing with
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah. So that's a good goal for a certain style, and not the goal for classical singing. And of course, I'll get up on my defensive soapbox and
I think
say,
there's a lot of room for like colorful and playing it just in a different atmosphere. Like it doesn't sound the same as musical theater, but you hear when opera, like they just put personality into their voice, and then there's the character show.
terrific. I think it's kind of like, it's just like you said, a different realm. And, you know, we're working in this dimension, we're working in this dimension. Let's try a different figure now, but that's going really well. Those are E elevators and U elevators, yeah? Let's do just a little, did you bring something you'd like to sing for me?
I did.
Can you give me a bit of text from it?
Loved you so. Do you want notes or you just want text?
Just the text.
Loved you so, much more than you'd ever know.
Much more than you'd ever know. That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Much more than you'd ever know. And we're gonna put it on a little waltz. It's gonna go much more than you'd ever know. Let's try that. Much
Much more than you'd ever know.
So this is a standard kind of figure I use. Sometimes I use it on I am a very fine boy. I am a very fine boy. But we might as well go ahead and work on some of the text that you're going to sing for me right now. So in this case, ever goes back up. Much
more than you'd ever know.
Very good. So let's use, just not that you have to do it for reals, but let's use a little more of the real O that you were just singing for me on much more. Say lawnmower.
Lawnmower.
Let's say much more than you. A little more lawnmower up there for the O of it. Much.
Much more than you'd ever.
That was great. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
so we're
Much
going for more O, more O.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got that word M-O-R-E. When we speak it, I think of it as like a secondary color, that we're combining the R color with the vowel color, and we get up there and go more. Yeah. But in terms of finding beautiful resonance for every single sound, we want to take that green, that secondary color, more, and pull it apart into more. So I have one vowel for the main vowel, and then I have this number 3 here, which is an IPA symbol for like that replacement R. More,
Remember
more.
my IPA class. I
Is it
took
making
it.
you?
No, I
twitch?
loved it. I only took one. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Well,
gonna be sitting in that long-term memory.
I think the most important thing for us is just being able to identify vowels and maybe like these unusual vowels in the middle, which go from ah. This witch's hat is kind of an like duh. And this is your French duh, it sounds like
Ugh.
And this number 3 here, I think of it as her servants, like a British kind of So we're using that in much more than you, is it you'd ever know?
You'd
Ever know,
ever
alright,
know.
let's have that.
You'd ever know.
More than you'd ever know. So a new syllable means a new note in this exercise. Much more than you'd ever know.
So this, sorry, this is so basic. Ever
No.
gets two.
Yeah, it's a waltz.
Okay.
We're gonna linger up there. Much more than you'd ever know. Only the top note gets 2 beats. Everything else steps right on through. But that top note, Yule, is gold. It's a nice O. It doesn't sound mannered. It sounds like you're making choices with it. I'm going like that. So there's another one of these in there on ever no. So let's see if we can think about that when we get there as well. Instead of ver, which may be a little too far
I'm
back.
just focus more on, like, leave the R at the end and, like, tack it on, but don't focus.
You know what, that is a really good general consonant strategy, but I think what I'm asking for is the opposite. That the entire syllable of V-E-R in the word ever is right away in this color, and then there is no more R to tack on. Let's try ever no.
Ever no.
Good for you. So new note for every syllable as we go. Ever no. We have 2 instances in there. Actually, we have more than that. But we have some voiced consonants. If I asked you about an F and a V, which one is voiced and which one is unvoiced?
I'm gonna think again, because the term voiced consonant does not seem to be ringing a bell to me.
Okay, well that's absolutely fine, because that means you're gonna feel like, wow, I really got something from that lesson. So a voiced lesson, a voiced consonant in this case is the V.
Okay.
Because your vocal folds are adducting, it has pitch, it has tone. You can sing a little scale on a, you can't sing a little scale on a, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you put your pointer fingers together for me? This is a little Yule-sized model of your vocal folds. This is how they're oriented inside that larynx as well.
Oh yeah, they're
So
pretty.
they're pretty, they're just so pretty. When we have an unvoiced sound, they are abducted. Lots of air coming out. When we have a voiced sound, they are adducted. They're making a note. Yeah? So in this fabulous exercise that you brought in for us, voiced, much unvoiced, more. THs are so interesting because there's one of each. Is this one voiced or unvoiced in the word than?
I would say voiced.
I think you would be correct. What about in the word thin? Unvoiced. Thin than. Much more than you even the D ever know. So all of it's quite voiced in spite of having all those consonants. voiced consonant bends when we say ever. I'm starting my N on this note. And I'm taking the N elevator, like I took the E elevator before, to the new pitch. Very beautiful.
Much more than you ever know.
It's very beautiful. You will the end of ever doesn't need for if we've chosen that vowel, we're done with R.
Okay.
We don't want to go ever. You already did it. The next thing that happens is an N. Ever no. It sounds really mannered and fakey and not style appropriate when I say it.
No,
But when it
makes sense.
flies through, ever no, it's just N colored.
Yeah.
Ever no. So it really addresses that, and people won't think that you're Julie Andrews showing up all of a sudden in disguise in Don't Let the Pigeon on the Bus. Much.
Much more than you ever know.
It's so beautiful. So the CH, which is we've identified as the only unvoiced sound, is tricking you into lifting your larynx much more. See if you can,
Okay.
don't sing the CH until it's time to sing
Okay.
the CH.
Much more than you ever know.
I'm in love with you, whoever your character is. I'm in love with you, all right. All right, really, really nice job. Just to touch on the fact that an M should feel like you're puckering up for a kiss, as opposed to puckering away. We've got kind of this outdoors lip skin, and we have indoor lip skin.
Mhm.
This is a little more delicate. That's all that needs to touch to make an M.
Much more than you ever know.
Beautiful. Let's hear this in the context of the tune. Do you have some music for me to play off of?
Yeah.
All right.
It's from Jersey Boys. So it's gonna be
I'm ignorant.
no, it's
So
okay. It's gonna be a little more 50s pop. I can also take out this little thing that's in there. It says start here,
Start.
but it starts here.
the previous bar.
Yes.
Okay.
I loved you so, much more than you'll ever know. But you just cheated and you lied. Go on and cry for me. Well, you knew it from the start. Someday you'd break my heart. Now we're all through. So cry, cry for me.
Excellent.
For me not giving you a tempo, that was beautiful.
Yeah, not bad sight reading
Yeah.
for your old voice teacher. Okay, let's go one more time, especially for these trips down to the low stuff. I want you to think about what we just touched on with, so an M and an N and an NG are nasal consonants.
You see, I
And-
lied to you. It's you'll, not you.
Speak much more than you'll ever know. So when those nasal consonants are coming right now, you're clamping down on them, you're not giving them the fast air that they would most like to have, and I can't hear them. And because they're not resonant, they stop your air, and it makes whatever comes after them really hard to get going again.
Okay.
Yeah? So, have you ever seen a gong player in an orchestra?
Yeah.
Yeah, this big gong,
Yeah.
right? It's the coolest thing because officially, they're supposed to warm it up, get it vibrating before they play it. If you don't have sound and vibration on much more than you will know, then we're not going to hear the gong hit. You're hitting a cold gong instead of one that is already reverberating. Let's go back. Can you step back over there to, you know this stuff. Let's do it from the beginning again and see when we, take your time if you want to. It's
Okay.
just me, not a stage band, right? When you go much more than you'll ever know. So we've got two M's and an N and another N, two M's and two N's. And we want to feel them high and buzzy as you come. So your bar before.
I love you so much more than you'll ever know. Ever know. Ever know.
And instead of ver, then, ever know.
Ever know.
Yes. So that R, that American R,
Mhm.
also stops your air. So no wonder we can't quite get the N going because we lost it on the R before it. I love your high flat. The tricky thing is how to get off of it. I'm going to suggest to you, this is kind of dropping some cold information on you.
It's okay.
But coming out of there, you want to feel a back divergence. Aha. Can you show me with your hand like a Muppet mouth? Ah. And then I'm going to turn it and point my thumb like a hitchhiker back there. Ah. Speak ah. Ah. And there's my silence. Instead of ah out front, ah. Love you so. Yeah? Here it is.
I love you.
Good for you. So sing aha the way you always do. It is a diphthong.
Are we doing aha, aha?
Aha. However you want. However
Yeah.
you're doing it is always.
Is that what this is for?
It's for the
Or-
diphthong. Aha. Love
Okay.
you so.
Oh,
So
okay.
ah stays the same as it always has been. Aha.
Okay.
Love you so.
I
So this is not that. Aha. Same thing as always.
love.
And then I don't need to hear the beginning of the L. I love you so, but only the exit from it. The ah is really good.
I love you so.
Good for you. So say I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you.
And now we're going to say I with a silent L.
I'll
be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you.
So I don't need to hear the L. You're just going to make the shape of it. I love you so. Give it a try. Huh? Good for you. Be brave.
I just am not understanding I understand, but I'm not what I'm supposed to be doing.
I would like you to use the shape for an L,
But
not insist on me hearing it. I love you so.
okay, but I still say that. Oh,
Well, it depends how you define say. I'm asking you to make the shape of it.
okay.
but not the loud sound of it.
Okay.
I want you to step through that choreography to get there. I think of it sometimes as like you watch a road map where you're in a mountainous area and the highway comes up to a mountain and then you see nothing and then it comes out on the other side of the mountain. That's what this L is. I love you so. Or the really important thing is that the road continues. Love you so, and it merges out the other side. Just give it a try.
I love you so.
It's good, it's really close. Can you shrug for me? Now say I
love.
and then don't make any sound.
Oh.
I love you so. Can you show me that you're still making an L in the silence? I love you so. There was the road going under the mountain. You're in the shape of an L, but we're not making choices to be resonant for it. I love you so. You're so good. You're like, I don't understand. But
It's okay, even if I don't understand, if I can just make it work, then it will make sense to me later.
But here's something that's happening a little bit, is that we're detuning the L, is the interval that we have to work with. So we're not going to go, I love, but I love. Should we try one more?
Yes.
Experiment. I love it a lot. But as
I thought I didn't put the L as much on that.
Yeah, I think you did well. I love you. I like to think of it as I'm only hearing you exit the consonant.
Okay.
La.
You just don't want to hear the entrance,
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not doing it. There's a rest. I love you so. I'm just trying to get you to steer through a faster air shape. I love you so. As we come down on so, can you think about olifying it as you go? I like so. As it starts to move, let's see if we can get that O in there. You have a couple more in you?
I love you
so. Good! You're so intrepid. Did that make some sense?
Yeah, I don't think I didn't do the L as I did it before, but I'm working on it and it makes sense to me now. So
another interesting thing about that L is that it's not, it's going to be a kind of fluty, as opposed to, it's not going to have the same timbre as the vowels around it. But guess what? We're not even singing it, we're exiting it.
yeah.
So it's about the timbre that you're using in the silence. And then out the other end of it. I thought that was really exciting. And really good job on the so, using a little more of your resonance. Gives you beautiful color. Okay, almost silence. I love you. Let it be silent.
Okay.
I love you so. So silent is, this is such an interesting thing, Yule, and that's why I'm kind of hang on to it for just a little bit. Is that silence does not mean that you have stopped singing. It means that you're singing silence. So not I love you, or take a breath, or any of those things, but I love you so. It's what the shrug is, or the Italian risks are, or any of those things. I love you. That's what we're looking for. You know why it's choking like that? Because you're still divergent front foot. I.
Yes, I never did this.
Yeah. If you stay front, it will choke, because that's not the resonant shape for an L.
Loved you so much more than you'll ever know.
Better.
Ever know.
Can you make sure you hear the V on the top?
Ever know.
Take the V elevator.
Ever know.
Yeah. Good for you. Much more than you.
Much more than you'll ever know.
Yeah. Ever know. Speak ever know.
Ever know.
Yeah. Okay. Much more than you'll.
Much more than you'll ever know.
Good for you. Now when you come to the O, can you think of yourself opening upward from the N? No. Instead of no. No.
Much more than you'll ever know.
Good. So the crazy thing that we have to own a little bit is that feeling stuff is not the same thing as your audience hearing stuff. And what counts? The audience hearing stuff, right? So sometimes we make choices because we feel it. But if it's not loud out there for the audience, then they don't matter. Yeah. I thought all the ending of that was really strong. I think I'm going to say that we're done with this little session today,
Okay.
with the exception of if you have any questions that occur to you at this moment, questions that occur to you later, you know where to find me. I'm really always, Connor can tell you, always very happy to after the fact. But does any of this have any reactions?
No, I mean, it definitely gives me a lot to work on. Because I haven't worked on this with anyone, so that's why I wanted to work on it.
Bring it on in. I think it's a terrific selection. It shows style. It shows your falsetto. It sounds, has a kind of flair and charisma to it.
I think it's nice because it lets me show my like resonant baritone, like lower side, but at the same time it shows my upper extension,
Absolutely.
which can go higher, but.
And then just like any audition selection, we want to make sure that the stuff that is low, that it's buzzing and ringing. If it isn't, then we're showing something we don't want to be showing in an audition. Yeah. But if you, just like that gong getting warmed up and continue to ring, if every component, much more than you ever know, if every single one of those, we call them phonemes, not just a vowel, not just a consonant, but every sound, is resonant, then your gong just keeps ringing from sound to sound, and you don't have, nothing stops, and so you never have to start shoving at it to get it started again. So if a note seems to not be speaking, look at the phoneme right before it, look at the phoneme right before that, see if you can discern where resonance stopped.
Okay.
Because that's the spot where we just need to make a different choice.
Thank you.
Good job.